Well, hello. I am here
All right, we're back in 30 seconds.
live upon the airwaves of this fine, high quality radio station. Okay. Doodly doodly doo, ba-doop doop doo, ba-doo.
All right.
All right. All right, everybody.
All right, here we go in 10 seconds, man.
10 seconds, baby. North to south, coast to coast. This is the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. How are you doing? It's Thursday. For you TGIF fans, sure happy it's Thursday. Telephone number is 844-927-6691. The world-weary executive producer of the Wells Report, the Philip Brown, looked up to me and went, yeah, sure happy it's Thursday. Yeah. World weariness, urbanity, all of the great things, the things necessary to be able to look clear-eyed into the face of news every day and bring you the truth. Actually, I'm not kidding about that. I'm very, very serious. That is exactly what we do every single day, and we are glad that you are here. Again, our number is 844-927-6691. If you're brand new to the broadcast, first of all, welcome. This is an interactive newscast. We bring you the news. We give you the facts of the news. Usually not that much. I comment on the facts, and then we debate the conclusions that I come up to or come up with. Very interested in hearing what you have to say. That's why you have a role in this. My opinion is no more important than your opinion, but both of our opinions are important as we talk about the big issues of the day and how they affect us. The regular people that pay for everything and keep getting cut out of the conversation as to how the money is spent, how those laws are passed, who passes those laws, and to whose benefit. Plus, just plain issues like this sexual harassment thing. What is going on? Is it ever going to stop? What does it mean to us? And what about race in America? The Obama administration has left us wreckage where at one time we were getting along pretty well. I know it seems almost impossible to believe, but at one time we were all getting along very, very well. What happened? Well, the Obama administration realized the great treasure trove that was available by splitting the American people as many ways as humanly possible. And after splitting the people as many ways as humanly possible, then to play one side against off against the other, all for political effect, all for the fact of let's put them against them and let's make sure that we get at least half the votes. This political ideology, this political tactic has worked. It worked for 8 years to elect a progressive socialist to the presidency of the United States. Now, once again, I don't want you to think because you're new to this broadcast that this is just another right-wing crazy guy on the radio. No, I'm sorry. This is the news. This is truth. The simple case that the Obama administration used race as a way to forward their political agenda is a known fact. It is fact. Again, it's not partisanship, it's the news. So now we are in a position where all of this anti-white rhetoric in politics over the years has finally caught up. Not only did it catch up to the Democrats who took their entire voting base and began calling them bigots. homophobes, Islamophobes, sexist, misogynists, splitting men against women, men against blacks, white against black. I mean, it has just been a sickening disruption of a great country whose national motto is E pluribus unum, of many, one. We're supposed to stand together in this country. So why don't we? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. One of the main reasons is I think that the mainstream media has decided to go ahead and be true to their political roots instead of their journalistic ones. Which means that we have our next story. We have a Texas college student newspaper, apparently a newspaper that is put together by the journalism class, the J School class of Texas State University. This is where this, I don't know what it's called. I guess it's called, there is a word for it, advocacy journalism. This is where it was born. Not at Texas State in particularly, but certainly in the university newspapers around the country. This is where you usually write editorials that haunt you for the rest of your professional career. Or you actually learn how to write and you actually learn how to do a real job at reporting the story, the who, what, when, where, why, how, the facts, the reality of it, and to be a transparent lens for journalism so that the people that read what you write get the actual truth of what happened instead of what you believe should have happened or what should have happened so that your political ideology would be moved forward, or what should have happened to damage, even destroy your political enemies. That's what they're learning. And I have proof. Again, this is not some right-wing guy saying that left-wing press, blah, blah, blah. No, has nothing to do with it. This is the news. A Texas college newspaper is apologizing after coming under fire for running an opinion column called, quote, "Your DNA is an abomination," unquote, that accuses white people of being oppressors who, quote, "should not exist," unquote. Is this the photographic negative of the propaganda pieces that we used to attribute to the Ku Klux Klan? Is this the exact photographic negative? The answer to that is obvious. It is. This is degenerate bigotry, discrimination, racism, and, oh, by the way, a healthy dose of eugenics all thrown in together. What are you doing? Well, you know, the newspaper is coming under fire. Yeah, I would expect so. I would expect some people to be thrown out of the journalism class. I would expect the newspaper to shut down for a couple of weeks. I would expect a lot of things to happen. The apology from the Texas State University Star came just hours after the column was printed in the Tuesday edition. Whiteness will be over because we want it to be, the article reads, according to a photograph sent to Fox News by multiple viewers. And when it dies, there will be millions of cultural zombies aimlessly wandering across a vastly changed landscape. In addition to stating that white death will mean liberation for all, the columnist also says whiteness is, quote, "a construct used to perpetuate a system of racist power," unquote. White people are an aberration. Does this sound like David Duke? Why isn't this hate speech? Can you imagine just what would happen on a college campus in the United States if the exact photographic negative of these statements were actually published? We don't have to imagine what that was like. All we have to do is go back a few decades, because that is exactly what was being printed. So let me ask you a question. Is this any more excusable? Is language of this kind towards a racial group in the United States, is it any more excusable when it's applied against white people than it was when it was applied against black people? Has the columnist, not to be named, of course, has the columnist who actually wrote this diatribe, this screed, has this person been branded a virulent, horrifyingly degenerate, racist bigot? No. Why? Because he's talking about white people. I love the sarcasm from the student body. Caitlin Payne said, love the stimulating, unbiased writing that is the university star. I guess racism doesn't count if it's towards white people. The column went on after saying, white death will mean the liberation for us all. Whiteness is a construct used to perpetuate a system of racist power. White people are an aberration. Until then, remember this: I hate you because you shouldn't exist. You are both the dominant apparatus on the planet and the void in which all other cultures, upon meeting you, die. Really? Turns out that we do get this guy's name. It was written by Texas State University senior Rudy Martinez. He's a philosophy major who said in a past article that he was one of the more than 200 people who was arrested on January 20th protesting the inauguration of proto-fascist Donald Trump. Have they taught this guy anything at Texas State University? You know what Texas State University ought to do? They ought to take his diploma back until he actually learns something. I want to know where Rudy Martinez can go back in his background and find, shall we say, I don't know, the virulent, horrible, terrible, culture-destroying, civilization-robbing slavery that white people on this continent put the Hispanics through in the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th century. I'm sorry, Rudy. I may be missing this. I may be painting with a broad racist brush, but what the heck? When in Rome, what I want to find out from you is where can you go back in your life and find the basis for this anti-white racism? You know what I think it is? I think you're just a bigot. I think you're just a KKK wannabe. And since you can take shots at white people, you do it. That's what I think, Rudy. The editor-in-chief, Denise Cervantes, had a statement. You're going to love it. You're listening to the Wells Report. Our telephone number is 844-927-6691, 844-927-6691. You know what I think this is? I think this is cultural misappropriation.
You know, they do try to make it okay to be racist against white people nowadays.
Yep. Oops. It's not a shame. It's a crime.
Yeah.
It's an absolute crime.
It's it's only like it mainly is coming from college campuses though, like and like like those liberal, really liberal people.
Yeah. That's why I'm talking about it.
Yeah, mainly comes from colleges though. Like colleges, it's like their whole thing is centered around college. Like even after they graduate.
I was talking to a girl in her 40s. She's she is a wonderful human being. She's a proud graduate of LSU,
Mm-hmm.
and and she's still a proud graduate of LSU. It's like I'm going, really? Interesting. I'm really kind of, yeah.
What did what do you mean? Did something happen with LSU?
No, she's just still buried in the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Got nothing to say there. Do baba dee ba bay bo. I love it.
Man, I'm glad I didn't go to. I didn't go to college, man. I just got straight into working, but I
Yep.
feel like I should have gone. But sometimes when I hear this stuff, it makes me and I'm glad I didn't go to like one of those universities.
Yep. Let's see here. Hello, everyone, in the nice shirt, John David. Love it. Thank you, Mark. This is one of my favorites. It's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, it's I really like this shirt. It matches my coyote tack pants. Coyote tack pants. Barbie dolls. Okay, you had me going there for a minute when you said good to see you, brother.
Back in 1 minute.
Huh? Let's see. Okay, I have to stop using that. What? Howdy Dowdy is a lot older than Barbie. Howdy Doody. JD is fuzzy again. No, I'm not. Nuh-uh. Barbie was created in the 50s, I'm quite sure. No, it was the mid-60s. No, it was in the 50s. Mitzi doll. JD isn't fuzzy at all. Well, wait a minute. His head is fuzzy. Everything else is crystal clear. That's because I just got a haircut. Whole screen is fuzzy testing. Whole screen. Use what device? Firefox. How do we get back to the days when JD had 40 to 50 viewers in chat? I don't remember a single day when we had 40 to 50. The most I ever saw was 12. Let's see. It seems whenever JD, that station begins to suffer. Yes, it's true.
All right, come back in 10 seconds.
10 seconds. You are listening to the Wells Report, 844-927-6691, 844-927-6691. Is it possible to be racist against white people? I know that seems like a stupid question, but you know what? I don't see anybody standing up against racism against white people. Why? All I see is more and more and more racism attributed to white people. It's gotten so bad that Rudy Martinez, who is Hispanic, I'm assuming, Rudy Martinez, who's Hispanic, is talking about white people as if they personally, I don't know, enslaved, bought and sold his family for generations. I hate you because you shouldn't exist. Your DNA is an abomination. DNA. It doesn't get more racist than that. What am I supposed to do with that? You know, forgive me, but I've been pounded in the head my whole life over racist things that never happened in my life. I've never been a racist in my life. I never would be a racist in my life. As I keep saying, I'm a competitor. I don't care what your packaging is. I want your best game. That's it. I'm trying to figure out where all these damn leftists are supposed to be. Where these progressives that are supposed to be. They're supposed to be champions against racial discrimination. Where are those people? Where are those people standing up for now downtrodden white people? Don't sit there and say, oh, you deserve it. It's social justice. You deserve it. I'm sorry. I don't deserve it. To me, this is simply the photographic negative of Ku Klux Klan propaganda. And I'm trying to figure out how come, I don't know, I don't have any idea why people on this campus are not marching against the absolute virulent racism. I mean, what are we going to have? We're going to have Rudy Martinez standing at the gateway to Texas State University, forbidding white people, white students to take classes. Is that what's next? I mean, is this guy's hero George Wallace? What gives this guy the right to walk down this road without any censure whatsoever? Oh, and that brings us to the delightful editor-in-chief, Denise Cervantes. The University Star's opinion pages are a forum for students to express and debate ideas. While our publication does not endorse every opinion put forth by student columnists or guest contributors, as the editor, I take responsibility for what is printed in our pages. We acknowledge that the column could have been clearer in its message. No, it could not have possibly been clearer in its message. This guy wants a genocidal war against white people. He hates us all. You are both the dominant apparatus on the planet and the void in which all other cultures upon meeting you die. We acknowledge that the column could have been clearer in its message and it has caused hurt within our campus community. You think? We apologize and hope we can move forward to a place of productive dialogue on ways to bring our community together. How about this? Get rid of Rudy Martinez. Never let him write for your newspaper again. Tell him to go out and join the what? The photographic negative of the KKK. Tell him to stop pointing at other people's fascism because you know what? Damn. Your DNA is an abomination. Don't get me wrong or anything like this, Rudy, but I swear to God, you know, you're on the wrong track when you make a member of the new Black Panther Party blush. I'm just saying. Eugenics is in there, racism, discrimination, bigotry. And let's just go ahead and throw in genocide, shall we? And this is what's being published in a university newspaper. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number again is 844-927-6691. Who's paying the tuition for this college? Who's actually paying money for this? This is the USA Radio Network.
All right, man. Y'all don't know anybody at that radio station down there, do you?
What, that KBDT place?
Yeah.
I know the general manager. He's a real He's a real dick, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he really is.
Oh,
You ought to see the way he wears his hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Only reason I asked is because another guy just called and said it sounds kind of it doesn't. He said it sounds like it's plastic over the speaker or something.
I know what that means. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Hey, Phil.
Premium lets you listen to live NFL, MLB, NBA, and NHL games. Hear hundreds of commercial-free music stations. Choose from more than
Would you call David Maddox and tell him that we're distorted, we're being overdriven crazily?
Hi. Thanks for calling the Wells Report. Could I have your name?
It's we're being overdriven.
Hi.
Do you have his number? Okay, stand by.
Who? No. Wayne's not on there till way
Dang
later.
it.
All right. Thanks, Mary.
Hang on a second. BADLY overdriven. Okay. I don't know what that problem is. Oh, shit. No, I just sent it to the wrong place. Let's see if I can find another David Maddox. Oops. MADD. Hold on. See, so let's try that one. Stand by.
All right. I got 1 minute.
Thank you. Watch this. Share contact. Message. Yeah, try to get in touch with David.
You want me to contact David?
Yeah, I'm gonna have we need to
I'll message him.
yeah, we need to get this taken care of.
But when you heard that was a commercial or something playing, right?
Yeah.
Because so it's not just you. So it's not coming from us. It's some on their end.
It's here. I think it
cool.
is.
I'll message him right now, man. Here we go. You're back in 10 seconds.
Yep. You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 844-927-6691. 844-927-6691. You're listening to the Wells Report. I am very, very frustrated with what has been a very bad choice among American sports networks and indeed American sports teams. What I have seen is that ESPN and other sports teams have gone political. It happened towards the end of the Obama presidency. And once again, I really don't know why, but people who had expressed any kind of conservative ideology on the air were immediately called down, say, for example, by ESPN management. They were called down by ESPN management. Then what ended up happening is that there would be leftists that would use the network for their political opportunity. And they were not called down by ESPN management. ESPN has lost unbelievably huge numbers of subscribers because people are tired of garbage like that and won't put up with it. ESPN went ahead and indeed fired another 140 people. They actually laid them off. And you get to this situation and you go seriously? Why are you guys talking about politics in the first place? Now, don't get me wrong. Who was it? Who was the former Phillies pitcher? It was Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling is the guy that got fired by ESPN for saying conservative things. He was wrong too, by the way. He was wrong. What you do is you talk about the issues of the day having to do with baseball. Baseball is a world in and of itself. It is a world in and of itself. And indeed, what it should be is discussed as its own. It should be discussed as its own entity. Same thing with football. Same thing with soccer, if you can stay awake long enough. All of these things have nothing to do with the reality of what's going on in America's sports. You know what people want to do? They want to watch the football game. They don't want to see some guy who's making, I think, what's the NFL minimum these days? $685,000 a year. Is that right? That's the NFL minimum. Minimum salary. Let me look it up here. Let's see. Minimum salary NFL is, it's only I'm sorry. I was close. First year, $465,000 a year. Second year, $540,000. Third year player makes $615,000. A 4-year player makes $690,000. There's money on top of that, but that has to do with special services contracts and so on and so on. We don't want to watch those guys kneel during the national anthem. We didn't want to hear stories about how the NFL received millions upon millions of dollars from the United States military to be able for the military to have access to bring those great big American flags onto the field for the national anthem. We don't want to hear stories like that. You know what we want? People say that football has taken the place of baseball as America's pastime. Not with players kneeling on the sidelines during the national anthem, it hasn't. Now, I don't know exactly when this started. I realize that there have been some definite leftist people involved, but mainly that came from print and not necessarily newspapers. It came from magazines. And specifically, Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated would say that they have award-winning reporters, journalists. All of these people are unbelievably good at what they do. how do they say it? Let me see. Let's see. Award-winning reporters, journalists, and writers. Truly, you know, I keep looking at all these people, and what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a bunch of people that really, really work hard on a magazine, but may at some point be out of work because nobody actually buys magazines anymore. Of course, they go to the websites, and that's going to be the future of everything, which makes sense, and that's fine. But there are not going to be a lot of people going to the website, not going to be a lot of subscriptions being purchased when the headline reads something like this. Colin Kaepernick selected Sports Illustrated Muhammad Ali Legacy Award winner. Really? He hasn't played a down of football this season, but he is some sort of cause celeb on the part of what? We're talking about Sports Illustrated? Illustrating what? Biting the hand that feeds you? Kaepernick is expected to attend the Sportsman of the Year award show Tuesday in New York, where he's going to be honored. The Legacy Award typically goes to sports figures who have used their platform to initiate change over a span of decades. Yeah. Colin Kaepernick has indeed been able to initiate change over a span of decades. What he's done is he's been able to make disappear the goodwill and ratings of the NFL. He's been able to make them disappear after decades of painstaking work to build them up. He's made them disappear. And you are actually seeing something in NFL stadiums you haven't seen since the 60s. Empty seats. Empty seats. Kaepernick is the youngest winner. His efforts are listed as kneeling during the national anthem to working with and funding social justice groups. Oh, yeah, social justice groups. Those are the groups that punish white people for crimes they never committed because white people committed crimes that weren't crimes 150 years ago. That's social justice? How long do you think it's going to be before Sports Illustrated starts laying people off? Telephone number again is 844-927-6691. You think I'm on the right track on this? I got to be honest with you. To a degree, politics has hijacked a lot of things in America, not the least of which is this show. I went one day, I can't remember exactly why it was for some reason, I just started keeping track January 1st, and I guess it was the second year of the second term of President Obama. What I wanted to see when was the first day? When was the first day that President Obama was not going to be on the front page of the newspaper? It was over 180 days. It was in June when it finally happened. And I'm going, I don't think politics is supposed to be this big a deal in the United States, is it? Are we supposed to be constantly focused on politics in these United States? You know what I think? I think this is not just the tail wagging the dog. I think this is maybe just a couple of the hairs on the tail wagging the dog. I am tired of politics dictating our every move. And yeah, even permeating itself into sports we watch on television. Are we serious here? Apparently we are. Politics has to do with everything in the United States. Is that the right thing? Are you happy with that? I'm sick as hell of it. 844-927-6691. 844-927-6691. 844-927-6691. That's our telephone number. You know, this show's supposed to be about news. John McCain is going to support the tax bill. That's news, all right. Yeah, he's going to support the Senate tax bill. Well, thank you very much, Senator John McCain. I guess somebody said, John, you're killing the party. Maybe he actually paid attention to somebody else for a change. It was probably a Democrat that came up to him and said, hey, John, you're killing the party. If nobody votes for you, we won't have people masquerading as another political party helping us out. So please do stop. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah. ESPN is having a massive problem. But they're not the only ones. I am finished watching political football. If I want to watch political football, I'll watch C-SPAN. They'll play political football with anything. Babies, lives, bombs, rockets. They will. And I sit back and I go, whoa, stop for a moment. Just hold on for just a moment. Not only are you guys forcing us to talk about everything that you do as if it's some sort of very important part of our lives, you're screwing up very important parts of our lives. You got to stop this garbage. 72% of Americans, we the people of the United States, did not want Obamacare to be passed in the first place. For 7 years, the Republicans said they were going to repeal every word of Obamacare. Agree with the policy, disagree with the policy. With them saying that, suddenly they own the House of Representatives, the Senate of the United States, and arguably the presidency of the United States. Have they gotten rid of Obamacare? No. Why? Because they're stupid. Because they're stupid. And they infuse stupidity into everything they touch. You want to see something screwed up in America? All you got to do is go to the government of the United States, go to any of the executive agencies. Any of the executive agencies. The Environmental Protection Agency screwed up the environment far worse than it was when they started. The Department of Education? Really? The Department of Education, we just talked about it. We just talked about a guy that said that white people were scum in his university newspaper. Really? Department of Education, fail. Department of Energy, why am I paying $2.75 for a gallon of premium fuel? Why do I live in a country that puts out more energy now than anybody else in the world, and I'm still paying $2.75 for fuel? Why is that? Why am I going through all of these things in this country? I'll tell you why. Because politics has infused its stupid, pathological dumbness into everything. We can't even watch a football game without watching somebody screw it up. And if it's not the player, it's the commentator. Gosh, I remember back in the olden days when Kurt Gowdy actually told you what was going on during the game. Do you miss those days? 844-927-6691. You're listening to the Wells Report on the USA Radio Network.
All righty. I messaged David.
Yeah. Did you get, Phil, Did you get David's number?
Here, I can give it to y'all.
No. I wanted Philip to get it. Philip, did you get it? What?
Oh, he says working on it.
Okay.
That's so weird because when I brought up the feed on my phone through the tune-in thing, it sounded fine.
Yeah, it's what we're broadcasting.
Yeah.
Whew. Man. Truck just cost me another $1,300. I'm so glad I have a vehicle so I can go to work and earn money so that I can have a vehicle so that I can go to work and earn money so that I can have a vehicle.
Oh man, tell me about it.
God, that's so funny. Wow. Ah! Oh, goodness gracious sakes alive. Sakes alive, sakes alive.
Alrighty, you got 1 minute.
One flipping minute. One flipping minute in the morning. Yeah. Those poor guys in the Argentine submarine.
Oh yeah, they never found it, did they?
No, they never did. So sad.
Yeah.
Just so sad. I mean, it's like man, wow.
All right, here we go.
Ready? You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 844-927-6691. I have no idea why Colin Kaepernick is being given any award whatsoever. What has he done? An incredible athlete, truly an incredible athlete, gifted like you can't believe, but can play quarterback in the NFL. Can play quarterback in the NFL. Decides what he's going to do. He's going to sit out his contract after he gets benched by sitting on the bench during the national anthem or taking a knee or doing whatever. Somehow this begets Sports Illustrated Muhammad Ali Legacy Award. It begets Sports Illustrated's Muhammad Ali Legacy Award. This because this athlete did the most with his platform. What platform? I mean, he's a quarterback spare on a losing football team. What kind of platform? Stop laughing, Mike.
I didn't realize it was on.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. No, anyway, Colin Kaepernick. I mean, seriously. The Muhammad Ali Legacy Award given to those who make the world a better place. How? Somebody explain it to me. How has Colin Kaepernick made the world a better place? By making it possible for people to realize, hey, I can't be an NFL quarterback either. Somebody just explained Colin Kaepernick's quarterback career, at least in 2016. He went 1-11 and was a particular blend of organic fertilizer created by an organism. I'm not going to say anything more than that. I'm just going to say that that person said that. It's one of the great things about being a talk show host is because people listen, people that you know, and they send you funny things. Thank you, funny thing person. Where was I? Yeah, Kaepernick. What's he done? What did Muhammad Ali do in his life? He protested against the war in Vietnam. You may not have agreed with him. I didn't. But that took guts. No, sir. Absolutely not. That took guts. He paid for his decision by sitting out what was arguably the prime of his career. He suffered. He suffered for his beliefs. Forget about the racial issues during the 60s that Muhammad Ali worked to get rid of. Forget about all that. Just what he did with the war. Colin Kaepernick expected to attend the Sportsman of the Year award show Tuesday in New York. Well, look, that's something else on my sports channel I won't be watching. Somebody needs to tell these leftist guys that, people really don't like their politics, especially when it's mixed with professional sport. They need to get away from it quickly. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is the USA Radio Network.
Hey, let me ask you, man. When I had the mic on just then,
Yeah.
Was it like affecting? Could you hear? It wasn't like messing up your hearing or nothing from.
No.
Okay,
I just hear you laughing.
Oh, okay.
It was really funny. I'm sitting there going, yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
I like that. Oh, wow. What do you know? I like that very much. I just got invited. I just got invited to the Fort Worth Republican Women's Club Christmas party.
Oh, cool.
I think I'll do that.
All right. Hey, you got about 6 minutes. I'm gonna duck out this door and hit my cigarette a couple times.
You go do that, baby.
I got my timer set. So
You go do it.
All right. Be right back.
All right. I guess that's not really nice. Colin Kaepernick proving to millions of children that they can't play quarterback in the NFL either. Whoa. Okay. Do da day. La 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 la. Yeah. I'm back. I know, who cares? I get it.
All right, sir.
I'm ready, sir.
We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
I talked to David. He said that the engineer told him to turn it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think basically what he was saying is he was also saying that he had talked to Ben. So kind of like the 3 people were telling him to do 3 different things.
Well, that's kind of weird. I don't know what to tell you, except it sounds like crap on the radio. So I guess that's what I'm supposed to say. Yeah. Listen, I know that, but I get it, but it's distorted. It sounds like a kazoo. Huh? I'm not trying to be a dinner plate. Excuse me?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's like,
Telling you what he told me.
no, I get it. No, I understand. I appreciate it as long as we do something about it. Yeah.
All right, you're back in 10 seconds.
Hot diggity. North to south, coast to coast. This is the Wells Report. Hi, my name is John David Wells. Telephone number is 844-927-6691. So, for whatever reason, for months and months and months and months, we've heard the same refrain, Rex Tillerson will step down. So far, Rex Tillerson has not stepped down. He's not actually even come close to stepping down. But apparently, he is actually going to leave the Trump administration in January, according to sources speaking through Fox News. They've already got the successor picked, and it will be current CIA Director Mike Pompeo. By the way, in case you're keeping track of all of this, Arkansas GOP Senator Tom Cotton would then lead the CIA. Nice gig. The New York Times has also reported that there's a plan that the White House has put together for that particular reason. As for comment, Tom Cotton's communications director, Caroline Tabler, told Fox News the senator's focus is on serving Arkansans. You see, did you know that's how you say it? You don't say Arkansans, you say Arkansans. How come they don't call their state Arkansas? Maybe someone from Arkansas can call me. If you are an Arkansan, don't you come from Arkansas? I do not know these things. That's why I ask these questions on this radio station. The New York Times reported that, asked for comment. The communications director said that the senator's focus is on serving Arkansans. Another potential, albeit less likely scenario would move U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley to the State Department and transition National Security official Dina Powell to Haley's post. Tillerson's exit has long been rumored. Just last month, NBC News reported, so it's got to be true, that Tillerson considered resigning over the summer amid disagreements with the White House, even reportedly called the president a moron after meeting with cabinet officials. Tillerson pushed back on the report, insisting that there has never been a consideration in my mind to resign. Tillerson also raised eyebrows in August. Following the president's response to attacks in Charlottesville, in an appearance on Fox News Sunday, host Chris Wallace pointedly asked Tillerson about the president's values. Tillerson curtly replied, "The president speaks for himself, Chris." It's a stupid question to ask, with all due respect to the venerable Chris Wallace, who's really very good. But it was a dumb question to ask. And Rex Tillerson put out a very, very positively professional answer. President speaks for himself. Trump, on the other hand, has largely been mum on his relationship with the former Exxon CEO and his performance as Secretary of State, while seemingly applying social media pressure on the diplomat to be tougher on the international stage. Now, that's either putting pressure on the diplomat to be tougher on the international stage or encouraging the diplomat to be tougher on the political stage or the international stage. It depends on your point of view. It depends on what you're trying to get across in the, quote, journalism, unquote. Trump tweeted last month that Tillerson was wasting his time with the diplomatic campaign to push North Korea towards denuclearization. That, by the way, to me is actually high-level communication between one head of state and another. The President of the United States and the whatever you call Kim Jong-un. By the way, in case you're wondering, Mike Pompeo, as the Secretary of State, might work. He's more in line with Trump on North Korea. The CIA director praised Trump in August of last year for his tough rhetoric toward the rogue regime and for uniting the world in trying to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. The president made it clear the North Korean regime of how America will respond if actions are taken, said Pompeo. Clarity is good, especially when you're dealing with somebody with nuclear weapons. Clarity is really, really good. Really good. Pompeo has spent a considerable amount of time at the White House, even setting up a temporary office in the Eisenhower Executive Building across the street. The report suggested Pompeo made almost daily White House appearances. The White House did not immediately respond to Fox's News request for comment. Here's my question for you. You know, I like Tom Cotton of Arkansas. The guy is a superb American. He is a patriot. He served his nation, not just as a senator, but as a member of the United States Armed Forces. Tom Cotton is a great human being. He is well-spoken. He is professional. And he is willing to set things straight with a candor that is unbelievably refreshing. He's a Harvard guy, which is good, I guess. I'm thinking. He served in the United States Army. He was active between 2005 and 2009. Years of service in the reserve. 2010 to 2013, he's a captain. The 506th Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne. 3rd Infantry Regiment. He won a Bronze Star. He has a Combat Infantryman badge, a CIB. Wow. And he wears a Ranger tab. He's also somebody that has done even more important work, if that's possible. He was a platoon leader for the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment at Arlington National Cemetery, the old guard. Those are the guys who lay to rest, American heroes, in Arlington National Cemetery. That explains his poise. That explains his professionalism. He was a member of the House of Representatives 2013 to 2015. He was elected then to the United States Senate in 2015. Here's what I'd like. I want the president to have as strong a cabinet, as strong an executive branch as he can possibly have, because frankly, I think the Republicans are feckless. I don't think they have any idea how to actually govern. I think the Republican Party is, I think the Republican Party is as useless as Ritz on a toll. And so, with that being said, is the Republican Party better off with somebody who's an actual honest to goodness meat-eating, meat-eating pro? Is the Senate better with that guy amongst them, or is he better running the CIA? That's a hard call for me. If you could get Tom Cotton to run the CIA, I think you have to do that. But what are the Republicans going to do? We've already got a Republican leader who says he'd rather have a Democrat than a Republican in the special election in Alabama. How many Republican senators are we going to get rid of? And what's going to happen after after Tom Cotton becomes the secretary or becomes the director of the CIA. What happens? They have a special election in Arkansas. Some guy decides to run. He gets just about every vote among Republicans in Arkansas. Then what happens is 30 days before the election, we find out that he goes routinely into the backwoods of Red China, shoots pandas, and eats them raw in his backyard. The leftist media in the United States goes completely berserk. They start complaining that this guy's a panda eater from way back. Now, make no mistake, no one's actually seen him eat a panda in the backyard. But you do realize that 13 people have said the same thing. The man eats pandas in the backyard. Has anybody ever seen him? No, but that doesn't matter. It's got to be the truth. Why would 13 people say that he ate pandas in the backyard if he wasn't actually doing it? Mitch McConnell would say, I'd rather have a Democrat than somebody that would eat pandas in his backyard. The Wells report says no one's proven that he's actually eaten pandas in his backyard. Somebody from Mitch McConnell's staff looks at the radio and goes, what did he just say? Is that where we're going to have when all this is done? People on CNN saying he's a panda eater. He eats pandas. Nancy Pelosi, panda eater. And suddenly somebody in the Democrat caucus is accused of using bald eagle eggs for omelets. No. This guy's entitled to due process. All we have is a bunch of innuendos. Just people saying he's gone to Alaska, stolen eggs out of eagles' nests, and used them to make omelets. Omelets. And somebody can say, well, wait a minute. What about the scrambled eggs of Planned Parenthood? We're not dwelling on that. Apples and oranges. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can hear it now. What are we going to have? We're going to have a Republican Party of Trump and some panda eater from Arkansas. Oh, that's great. We're toast. What, the eagle omelets with toast? What kind of toast would you have with an eagle omelet? I'm thinking oatmeal. I'm thinking that oatmeal bread, that nice chewy oatmeal bread with an eagle omelet. I think that'd be great.
Pretty funny, man.
There was a lot of that one. Let's see. What was I going to ask her? I was going to ask her something. What was it? Oh. What is one of the, what's a brand new blue box intercoms? we never used at the station. Question Marcus. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. What kind of toast would you use with an eagle egg omelet?
Good question.
I don't know. Wow. Um,
All right, you got 1 minute.
one damn minute. Okay. Sourdough. Eagle egg omelet requires brioche. What?
I was laughing at that.
Sourdough.
I
Maybe
was laughing.
French bread. French bread.
Here we go.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. A lot of people are trying to figure out exactly what I was talking about. I mean, somebody said, who doesn't eat panda? Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Panda's very, very high, it's high in protein. It's very tender. Eagle egg omelets, somebody said, requires brioche or fresh sourdough, sometimes French bread. Yeah. So finally, after almost a year, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is actually going to leave in January. Don't know whether that's true or not. Being reported by a couple of different people. The thing about it is that leaves an opening at the State Department. The person being talked about to be most popular for that job, Secretary of State, is Mike Pompeo, who's currently CIA director. Well, who do you get to be the director of the CIA? Well, you get Tom Cotton of Arkansas. That's what you do. Get Tom Cotton of Arkansas, and then what ends up happening? Then you have another Republican Senate seat to fill from the state of Arkansas. And what's going to happen with that election? There'll be a special election. A couple of candidates will run. Turnout will be dismal. And so then there'll be some fight 1 month before the actual special election. The president of the United States will say, well, you know, I'd really like to have this senator be a part of the Republican family in the United States Senate. All of a sudden, Mitch McConnell will say, hey, wait a minute. No, we don't want to do that. No, we don't want to have somebody who is not going to be a rock-ribbed, jelly-kneed, completely focused, committed, moderate, namby-pamby, somebody in the middle, hard-edged person as the next senator. I'm trying to figure out just exactly. It might be worth it, though. I would sure love to see Tom Cotton as the director of the CIA. Go in there and A, clean it all up. B, take a press conference as CIA director. Start telling people how the cow ate the cabbage. There are a lot of worse things than having Tom Cotton there, but then again, you have to replace him in Arkansas. We are seeing how difficult that is in Alabama. Judge Roy Moore roars past his absolutely must-have Republican Senate opponent, Luther Strange, runs right past him. People of Alabama say, hey, you know what? We want Judge Roy Moore. Oh, suddenly there's consternation. 4 weeks before the actual election. 4 weeks. So our telephone number is 844-927-6691. Do you think the Republicans can actually pull off maintaining a Republican majority in the Senate of the United States, at least a nominal one? Because I don't think it's actually really there, because I think there are too many Republican senators who are actually Democrat senators. I don't know. I'm just getting sick and tired of all of this. You know, it'd be one thing if the party could actually do something. But I just don't think they're capable of doing anything. I just don't get it. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Thanks very much for being a part of our broadcast. 844-927-6691. You're listening to the Wells Report on the USA Radio Network.
All right. Still haven't heard anything back from David yet, but
Yeah. Well,
if anybody can get it fixed, he can, but we'll see.
yep. There you go. It's the lurkers.
All right, back in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Hey, Phil, you're a millennial, right?
All right, here we go.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number, a very easy one to remember, 844-927-6691, 844-927-6691. White men, black women, all millennials are the most likely to endorse America moving beyond the Democrat GOP binary party system. Let's talk about this. This is Joe Kirshner, or Kirscher. Okay? She says the Democrats are a mess. Young Americans are increasingly unsure about aligning themselves with either party. New research from NBC and the University of Chicago, polling the group Generation Forward, have found that millennials, poised to be the biggest voting bloc in 2020, millennials, biggest voting bloc 2020, overwhelmingly want more political options. Yeah. A full 71% of the 18 to 34-year-olds polled said that America needs a third major political party. The desire for a third party option was seen across all races, genders, partisan affiliations in the poll, which was conducted from October 26th to November 10th. Respondents included a nationally representative sample of 1,876 people. More than half of those surveyed, 59%, had an unfavorable view of the Republican Party. What a surprise. 42% had an unfavorable view of the Democrat Party. This was an overall margin of sampling rate error of plus or minus 3.92 percentage points. Only 5% had a very favorable view of the Republicans. Only 10% had a very favorable review of Democrats. Nearly 3/4 of the men and 69% of the women wanted more political party options. Republican women are the least likely to want a third party, with just 55% agreeing. If you combine the race and sex categories, white male and black female millennials were the most likely to voice support for a third party. 80% of the former, 70% of the latter endorsed the notion. White millennials were most likely to want a third party. 75% embraced the idea. But strong majorities were seen all across racial and ethnic groups. "69% of blacks and Asians, and 64% of Latinos agree that it's time for a third party." Do you agree? What about you? You're a millennial. You think there ought to be a third party? What would it be? I happen to know. I think there ought to be a conservative party. I'm kind of like neither fish nor fowl here when it comes to the generations. My father did not fight in the Second World War. He fought in Korea. My attitudes are not the same as the baby boomers. I'm somebody who sees things in a much different way than that. But I see this and I go, yeah, we need a conservative party. Why? Conservative parties, a conservative party, would pull pretty much the right wing of American politics back toward the right. Telephone number again is 844-927-6691. Do we need a third party in the United States? I sure think so. We need a conservative party because the Republican Party doesn't get it. The Republican Party wants to be the party of everybody else, the party of who's in the middle. The Republican Party stands astride most issues, just like Obamacare. 7 years of saying they're going to overturn it. Will they get a real chance to actually do it? No. That was an amazing political defeat brought on by themselves. A self-inflicted idiocy on the part of the Republican Party. Well, I think that what we ought to do is, since conservatives are very frustrated with the Republican Party in general, we find a new steward for what we believe, that this country was built on a constitutional backbone. The heart and soul of that backbone is the Bill of Rights. And then what we end up doing is we end up having a party that stands for the Constitution. And you know what? The government of the United States is just doing too many things that aren't in the Constitution. The states aren't doing enough, and that is in the Constitution. The entire American mainstream media is in dire need of constitutional training, not Republican training, not Democrat training, constitutional. We need to be able to elect somebody like Let me see if I can come up with a really, really good one. I know, Donald Trump. Actually, it's more like Rand Paul, although Rand has his dad's libertarian streak. What I honestly believe is that we have to have a Constitution Party, or not a Constitution Party, because I read up on the Constitution Party. That actually exists. It's a Christians only club. The most important thing about this is that when we have a political party that actually sees things the way the people who want to have these things enacted in government, real progress is made. Like I said, the Republican Party wants to stand astride most issues, throwing their support behind whichever issue seems to make the most sense for their political sensibility at the time. It has nothing to do with the country. It has specifically to do with the business of the Republican Party. They're banking that there wouldn't be enough Democrats to actually enact a Democrat agenda, and there certainly wouldn't be enough conservatives to enact a conservative agenda. So what they need somebody in the middle. Somebody that works in a bipartisanship fashion to screw up whatever government ideology could come out of a third party and the mix of that third party with Democrats and Republicans. A third political party, yes, the Conservative Party of the United States, the Conservative Party of America. Based on the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Federalist. Can you imagine what would happen in a debate? I would love to, as a member of the Conservative Party, I would love to stand up and debate a Democrat or a Republican on anything. As a matter of fact, if you're a Democrat or a Republican and you want to debate me on any topic that you choose, join me. 844-927-6691. 844-927-6691. Let's have a quick debate here about any topic. I'll be the conservative candidate. You can be whatever candidate you want to be. You can be the Republican. You could be a Democrat. You can do anything. I just want you to be real. I want you to actually pick a topic that you truly believe in. And then you bring it to me. And let's have a quick debate. 844-927-6691. 844-927-6691. There have been people that listen to this radio show saying, "Oh, I want to debate you about this, and I want to debate you about that, and blah, 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 blah." Well, here's your chance. Immigration, got a plan. Planned Parenthood issues, got a plan. The United States military, got a plan. The country moving forward, the deficit, the economy, anything. I got a plan. 844-927-6691, 844-927-6691. Want to hear what you have to say? Debate me. But we got to hurry. Because in this broadcast, we have essentially, we got 4 minutes. Well, let's see what we can come up with here. Let me get to Spencer in Sanford, Arizona, listening on 1230 KATO. Spence, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hello there. How are you doing?
I'm good. What political party do you want to debate as a member of?
I don't want to debate. I want to challenge everybody that is holding office to a test.
A test?
Hillsdale College presents a very good education. And
Yep.
how many of these politicians have been to Hillsdale College or even understand what is going on?
You know what? A lot of them come out of the Ivy League, Spencer. A lot of them are
Yes, sir,
very,
I understand that.
a lot of them are very, very well educated, and it makes you wonder why they wasted all that money.
Well, who did they sell out to, or what? Where do they have their head, or which head are they thinking with?
That's a great question, Spence. That's a great question. I really appreciate your contribution. Thank you. 844-927-6691. Do we need a third party in the United States? Yeah. Yeah, we do. We didn't used to. The Democrats had a liberal wing and a conservative wing. The Republicans had a liberal wing and a conservative wing. But the Rockefeller Republicans, the liberal wing of the Republican Party, essentially took over the whole party, just like the progressive, anti-American, thug left has taken over the Democrat Party. All of these things have happened on our watch. It's time for us to start cleaning this stuff up. The millennials see it. They say, because, I mean, by huge numbers, in the 70 percentile, 18 to 34-year-olds say that America needs a third major political party. I can see that I think they're right on the button. What political party would it be? What I'd do is I'd take all the Tea parties across America and I'd try to convince them to switch to the C party, the Conservative Party of the United States. What color would we use? Oh, I know. We'd steal the red from the Republican Party. The Democrats can have blue, the Republicans can have white, and we'll have red. The Conservative Party of America will have red. The Republican Party can have white because they don't really stand for anything and it would match their hair. What do you think? You're listening to the Wells Report. This is the USA Radio Network.
All right. Don't most European countries have like?
Yeah, but that's a parliamentary system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a parliamentary system. What they do is they have all kinds of political parties, and they have to. What they try to do is they try to create political parties to work with main political parties, and so on and so forth. Like if the United States had a parliamentary system, you'd have the progressive or the socialist Democrats.
Yeah.
Right. You'd have that would be the left of the Democrat Party. You'd have the Jefferson Democrat Party, and then you'd have the Kennedy Democrat Party.
Oh, okay.
So you'd basically have three different Democrat parties.
Yeah.
Then you'd have the Conservative Party representing the right wing of the Republican Party. You'd have the Republican Party in the middle, and then you'd have the moderate political party, the moderate Republican, or the I don't know what you'd call it.
Well, that just gets confusing.
Well, it does get confusing. But then you try to come up with party policy and party ideas. Like you'd have some sort of nationalist party, which would be the ultra right wing too.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have something along that line. And then what would happen is that so many seats would be given to so many people, say in the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
That they'd have to form a coalition government, then they would elect a prime minister, and so on and so on. That's the way they do that.
Yeah, I kind of learned a little bit about that when I was reading about how the World War II started in like before in Germany, like before Hitler came to power. It was
Yeah.
it was something like that. It was like because they had Marxists and I mean not Marxists. They had Communist Party
Sure.
and they had Social Democrats and Social Democrat I think was like the biggest party back then or something in
Yep.
Germany. But yeah, they had a whole bunch of. They had like a workers' party and something else. Yeah, we definitely could use. Like, I don't feel represented by one or the other parties. Right now,
Pardon?
there definitely probably is room for another one because I don't feel really represented by Republican Party. You know what I mean? Like, I mean some of the stuff, but probably could be represented better. Something else by something new. I think Republicans having trouble connecting with the youth, man.
Well, that's because they're old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the it's the white hair club for men.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, back in 10 seconds.
10 dang seconds. So be it. You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells, 844-927-6691. We have just a few more minutes. If you have something to say, please do share it with us. Spence, thanks very much for your call. President Donald Trump cracked the failing New York Times for being a pipe organ and a virtual lobbyist for the Democrats in their fight against tax cut legislation. Listen to what he had to say. The failing at New York Times, the pipe organ for the Democrat Party, has become a virtual lobbyist for them with regards to our massive tax cut bill. They are wrong so often that I now know we have a winner. Very good. The Times in 2 days this week has published 3 columns and editorials denouncing Republican tax cut legislation that's currently working its way through the Senate. Monday, the biggest tax scam in history. Tuesday, Senate considers making a terrible tax bill even worse. Tuesday also. The 4 big tax deceptions. The Times on Wednesday tweeted out contact information of the Republican Senator Susan Collins, urging readers who live in Maine to ask her to oppose this Senate bill. Now, remember, it's not that they care one bit about taxes. What they want to do is they want to hand the president another legislative defeat. Going into 2018, they'd be able to say the Republicans couldn't get anything done when it came to repealing Obamacare. Then they'd be able to say, and the other legislative attempt by the Republican Party that didn't work out was getting taxes done. That's all they want. And they figure that Senator Collins will play ball because she's actually a Democrat. Contact Senator Collins, 202-224-2523, particularly if you live in Maine, and ask her to oppose the Senate tax bill because it would repeal Obamacare's individual mandate, drive up the cost of health insurance. As if Obamacare didn't drive up the cost of health insurance all by itself. See, This is the reason that we have to get real human beings involved in politics. This is why we have to get rid of these idiots. The other day there was this piece of journalism, which is rapidly becoming a euphemism for an organic, stinky substance, that said that poor people, with this tax bill, poor people would lose billions of dollars. And I said, Poor people would lose billions of dollars. If they had billions of dollars, they wouldn't be poor people. What are they talking about? What they were talking about is billions of dollars being given to the poor by the government that wouldn't be there to be given to the poor. You know, we've given to the poor in this country to the tune of $20 trillion in a federal deficit. Time to stop giving to the poor. Time to start saying, hey, why don't you going out there and get yourself a job? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so anyway, the Times, yeah, they've dropped their pants. They've given up broadcasting, or they've given up writing about the truth. They no longer care about journalism in the United States. All the New York Times cares about is the latest leftist agenda item that they can disguise as news. And the latest Republican agenda item that they can disguise as a failure. You know, I don't care if somebody honestly, truly believes that there's something wrong with right politics, and what should happen is that more leftist ideology should come to the fore, but none of it works. We need something that works. How about you guys work on that? This is the Wells Report. Executive producer, the Philip Brown. I'm JD saying see you tomorrow.
All right, man. Good show.
Thank you.
And you get some rest tonight and have a good one, and we'll see you back tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Yep.
Talk to you.
Bye-bye. You have yourself a wonderful evening, and God bless you.